Hello, y'all. This is Rebel Ray, your hostess with the mostest, and this is the Pruned podcast. We're coming live from Huddle Co and Create here in Stockton, California, a hometown of mine. And listen, we have a dynamic guest tonight. Her name is Deborah. Is it Deborah or Deborah?
Deborah.
Deborah. Okay, Deborah. Now, Deborah, what's your last name that you go by? Because my stage presence ain't told me your last name. What was your last name?
Chan.
Chan. So are you a part of the big Chan family here?
Apparently, yeah. I
guess so. It's a lot of y'all here. Y'all, I know a lot of y'all go to UOP and is dedicated to the dentistry over there as well. Mm-hmm. But I know you're a healer. Yes, you're a healer. You're a healer. And so you own an actual wellness center. Is it Valley Allergy and Wellness?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Now, what type of credentials you got to have to run something like that?
Well, I majored in holistic health and wellness back in 2008. Six.
Was it 6 or 8?
8.
Look at me correcting you.
6?
I see it right here.
8. Somewhere back in the day.
Yeah.
But I actually went on to work for the state for 14 years before getting back into holistic health.
But you quit that job. We're going to get to that.
Yeah.
Because you had a calling. And we always talk often here on the Prune Tree about the ability to grow out of adversity. We bring you individuals like Deborah here, who has had those lived experiences that are changing lives because they have that lived experience. And so I gently want to go into this conversation with you, So your mom was diagnosed in 2006 with cancer.
Yes.
And that really puts you on the path of paying attention to what's happening within our body and what's happening around us. Do you think it was an environmental thing that really, saw the prognosis of her cancer?
My mom didn't live the healthiest lifestyle. So when she got diagnosed, she initially chose a more holistic route to her treatment. So she ended up going to a detox center. And she went for the first time by herself. And she got amazing results. So she saw a decrease in her blood work in those cancer cells.
Wow.
And so she wanted to go through it again. And she begged me to go with her.
Right.
And I was like, I'm not even interested. No, I don't want to go. I have no interest in going. But because she was just so insistent, I was like, all right, I'll just go. So being a part of that detox, it was a 10-day detox,
right?
Full body detox. So you're drinking juices, herbs, you're basically cleansing from the inside out.
Listen, shout out to Lakeisha Shaw for Community. She has a nice little detox over there. Listen, I was holding on to the walls. Okay. I was scared what was coming out of me. Mm-hmm. And is that how the detox is? I've noticed also that your body sometimes goes up and down in temperature, trying to regulate the toxins that are leaving the body. Is that what happens sometimes?
Yeah. So I didn't necessarily experience that, but it was a group detox. So there was 12 people total. So a lot of people had different experiences like that. So we all became very close. We would show each other what was in the toilet.
Wow, that was amazing. And then I remember Oprah when she was like pushing Dr. Oz, and they were talking about how your bowel movements should look and how they should look like S's and the different color of your stools. Yeah. And we're learning now that most people are now being diagnosed. Most Americans, African Americans especially, are being diagnosed with colorectal cancer. So, this colon cancer that we're seeing and the cancer of the stomach where individuals are not digesting the food. Yeah. They're not taking in the nutrients because they have this caked, just all kind of waste that is in their colon.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And I guess it's causing like inflammation and it's causing all types of illness associated with the mucus that is in your body.
Yeah. Correct.
Interesting.
Yeah. So people would actually pass things like that. It's called diverticulitis. So they look like ropes. So it's like mucus and it's basically like plaque buildup in your colon. So people would be passing that. I was only 22 at the time. or maybe no, I was only 20 at the time. So I didn't have much of that,
Yeah.
but still it was just fascinating to learn that you could heal your body outside of just Western medicine.
So when you say Western medicine, explain that to some people because they don't understand if this is the only medication that my doctor is prescribing or the way that he practices. Obviously, I don't know anything else. And it's something about when your body starts to get tired, your body is not to chemo or to radiation. It's getting so much and overwhelming at times for your cells to regenerate and heal themselves. We then look outward towards our Western practices.
Yeah.
And a lot of our Eastern, Asiatic, and Afrocentric practices, I know, are very earthy and they heal the body. And we usually call that a holistic or Eastern medicine.
Yeah.
So tell me about your practice in this Eastern medicine.
So what I practice is something called bioenergetic intolerance elimination.
Okay.
So we just call it BIE for short.
Okay.
So what we're using is energetic frequencies. So everything in the universe has an energetic frequency
Come
to
on,
it.
come on,
right?
healer.
And so when you're stressed, your body doesn't understand what is causing that stress. So anything you're eating, you're drinking, you're breathing in, even hormones and enzymes that your body is producing at that time, that can all be subject to your body saying, I don't know what that is, so I'm going to block it.
Okay.
So when we use BIE, we're speaking in a language that your body understands to introduce that frequency back to the body. So let's just say you've got a peanut allergy or a lactose intolerance. We can just simply introduce the frequency of peanut or milk or whatever we're working with back to the body. So when the body recognizes it, it can no longer see it as harmful.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I want to know my frequency. A lot of people often, I know I respond a lot to levels of the environment. I know I regulate in water. I'm usually drawn to water. I pray. I regulate my emotion. When I drink more water, I feel more at peace. And I notice a lot of my emotional turmoil or what I keep within me when I'm going through, it's in my gut. So tell us how important is gut health when you're teaching individuals about their frequency and about how to balance themselves?
Yeah. So 70% of your immune system is in your gut. So gut health, of course, is really important to your overall immune health. So, some things that people are starting to take now are probiotics,
right?
Colostrum. These are like the new it things that people are seeing on Instagram, right? And that's all good. But a lot of the times your body isn't even recognizing those probiotics or certain enzymes to digest
because
the
of
food.
all of that waste that's compacted in there, right?
Not just because of the waste, but because when you're stressed, so it all boils down to either stress, overexposure, overconsumption of a certain substance. All of that can again be subject to your, it creates your stress response when it comes to like when your body, whatever's happening at the time, your body can see that as being the stressor. So if it's your hormones, if it's certain enzymes, if it's certain bacteria, then your body says, I don't know what that is, so I'm going to block it. I don't know what's causing that stress, so I'm going to block it. So if your body is blocking a certain enzyme or a certain hormone, it's no longer going to produce it.
Interesting. And so what are some of your recommendations when we're getting older now? And I've noticed one thing, my joint health is not as good. And shout out to Advanced Peace. Listen, I went out there on that 12-mile bicycle ride in the heat, pedaling for peace. And listen, I was trying to find my peace. I didn't really find the peace, but I pedaled for peace. I'm telling you, you should have saw me. It was comical, okay? The bike that they lent me, okay, because I gave my brand new bike away. The bike that they lent me, I said, I'm just get on a bike and I'm a pedal with the people, you know me. And, I got to pedaling and my joint locked up on my hip. And I was in amazement that the pain shot up the way it did. I'm like, right. I'm getting older, but I think sensationally, you got to really think about what we're putting in our body. Are you exercising?
Mm-hmm.
Also, you're saying the frequency. And I really want to get back to that because we always talk about the external factors that support the body, that support the homeostasis of the body or emotional regulation of the body. But it's also what we're putting into the body as well, right?
Right.
And so what tools do you use when you're supporting?
Yeah.
So how does that look like? When we come to see you, what does that look like?
Yeah. So at a first appointment, so depending on what we want to work on, whether it's environmental allergies, whether it's a food intolerance or hormones, digestion, I'll test that specifically. So let's just say we're working on allergies. So environmental allergies. I'll test you to see if your body is not recognizing certain pollens, plants, molds, ragweeds, and we do all of that through muscle testing.
Nice.
Yeah. So your body will actually tell me what it's recognizing and what it's not. So really what an allergy and intolerance is, it's really something that your body doesn't recognize. So my job is to figure out, okay, what is it not recognizing? What is triggering that response, that negative response that you're getting? And now how to balance it. So then we use a machine to then balance the body by introducing the frequency back to the body.
That's crazy. I have never heard of anything like this. And, you know, being a mental health therapist, we're always, and I love holistic healing, connecting back to the source, understanding where and whence we come from. And I often talk about the tree and hence the Pruned Tree podcast about the frequency, the ecosystem of the tree, right? Trees have a whole frequency, megahertz that they actually put out. They heal other trees. So I noticed that we're also an extension of that type of creation. So our cells can regenerate with different frequencies.
Yeah. Your body has the ability to heal itself. So really, you know, when it comes to improving your allergies or digestion, all we're really working with is basically signaling. So your body runs on electrical currents, on electrical impulses. So the machine we use is essentially speaking in that language.
Wow.
So it runs an electrical current through whatever I put on top of the machine. It measures the vibration of whatever frequency we're working with, and then it translates it into electrical impulses, which we then put back into the body.
Wow, that's amazing. And so do you also consult with making sure that, you know, what you're putting back into the body stays in the body or continues in a good way with the person body, right? So like any practices that you're recommending after we come and see you?
Yeah, so drinking a lot of water is really important. So we recommend at least 64 ounces by the end of the day of your session and the day after. So it can take between 1 and 4 sessions for your body to recognize something and hold on to it.
Wow.
But once it recognizes it, it should hold for life until you come across, you know, maybe get into a stressful situation again and that body just fails to recognize it again. But overall, you should have long-term results.
That's amazing. I know there's so many different things that our body is interacting with. Our body in itself is a frequency, like you said, but there's other frequencies that we're also taking into the largest cell, which is our skin cell, right? And our body is constantly running through radio waves, microwave waves, you know, all type of digital wave patterns. But I also saw that we often need to take radiation baths. Have you heard of that? Where you take in detox of radiation and different other elements that we're taking in that's polluting our body.
Detoxing from the radiation by staying away from it?
No, actually, you know, it was another holistic healer that I was learning about. And she said with baking soda and a very hot, steamy bath, and it was one more ingredient that helps with minimizing that radiation exposure. We actually have a lot throughout the lifetime, but I find it amazing. I find it amazing. And I know it must to really get to your purpose in life in order to have to see your mother go through that. Now, how far did she get to the point where it really shook you, it sounds like, and it really opened your eyes to the purpose that you needed to pursue?
Yeah, so she went through 2 rounds of that 10-day detox. And by the second round, her cancer cells were pretty much gone.
You better stop lying right now.
Right.
Listen.
So she was cancer free for a little bit, but she kind of went back to just her old lifestyle. Yeah. And so she, ultimately the cancer came back. And the second time it came back around, it was very aggressive. So she ended up doing chemotherapy. Mm-hmm. So chemotherapy really just ravaged her body, just really weakened her. To the point where, she was too weak to recover from it. So she ended up passing away in 2009.
Yeah. And how did that affect your journey and yourself and your reflection?
For a while, my goal was just to not get cancer because I have so much family history of cancer. So I didn't want to leave my kids. I don't want to leave my kids when they're young because I was 22 when she passed away. So that was my ultimate goal. Don't get cancer. Don't leave this world too early. Don't leave your kids behind. But really, I started to just embrace just a different lifestyle, just trying to change my lifestyle. Finding BIE has also been, a big game changer for us too. As a family, it's really helped not only myself, but my husband, my kids. So all of us are, health is a journey. We're all trying to live a healthier lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Is it perfect? No, right. But it's a journey for everyone.
It's a journey. Yeah. It is a journey. It's a journey of the mind. It's a journey of the spirit, and it's a journey of the soul.
Yeah.
And we have to touch, all three, and sometimes four, depending on who you're speaking with, and how we view healing, holistically. On that journey, a lot of my viewers, a lot of my listeners, are cancer survivors, and it really reminds me to take the moment. A lot of you don't know, but July has a week where it's dedicated to Cancer Week and awareness and survival, about what's going on. And I think it's really leading me back to my church lady community announcements. All right, y'all. We got the church lady community announcements. We're going to pause a little bit, Deborah, if that's okay. So we have quite a few weekend events that are happening this week. And as you know, I'm endorsing Shaw for Community as the ability to reach out and touch those that are within our urban community to come out of their homes. I don't know, it's been hot, you all, but to come out of their homes and get activated in your regional parks. And so shout out again to Lakeisha Shaw. She is taking individuals out of this urban jungle and into the forest to explore lakes. Wow. We've had people who have never hiked before hike, and really reestablish and reconnect with nature, because that's where it's at. That's where your healing is at. Disconnecting from this phone that I constantly have in my hand as well. But it supports how we reconnect with each other as well. And a lot of times we forget to listen and be mindful to the things that are in nature, the sounds in nature, the smells in nature. And I just want to give this shout out to Lakeisha. We're going to be doing our annual hike. Now, this hike is really going to be centered on cancer awareness this week. And also the survival of individuals who have survived cancer. And so we're going to be attending this Sunday our official wellness hike. And it's going to be in Hidden Falls, where it's always is around this time. And that's in Placer County. So it takes about an hour to get there. And when we're really studying the effects of cancer and what it does to the family and what it does to the body and the mind, in all pursuits, we want to pursue an ability to come together. So you can visit 209 Hikes on Facebook page to get the information. We'll be meeting here at the Shaw Bar on Sunday, the 14th, to meet up. And also those that need car rides, will be taking people down there to the hike. So I definitely would like to have you there. And that will be two miles that we're going to do, and it's hiking for hope. So empower, educate, and eradicate cancer. And so we're going to be starting that hike at 8 a.m. Again, we meet here at Hidden Falls at 6 a.m. Is 2.9 miles towards a cancer-free future. So the hike is not just walking through nature, it's about coming together to empower, to educate, and work towards eradicating cancer. One of the things that you want to know is that 209 Hikes is promoting this. There will be a balloon release to honor those that have been affected by cancer, who have survived. Speakers will be there who have survived cancer. You'll hear their inspiring stories. There'll be free gifts, and there will be lunch that will be provided by the Shaw Bar, free water, and also a community engagement game. Education and resource information will be provided by Health Plan of San Joaquin. So I'm very happy to present that to you while we're talking about that, because that's important. And I don't know what you're doing on Sunday, but I would love to have you as a speaker. That would be really dope to really have everyone there who has survived this. We have Sunsplash. I want to give a shout out to Balloons Over Bullets. Balloons Over Bullets was recognized yesterday at the city council meeting for having a proclamation for Balloons Over Bullets Day. So shout out, heart it up. But Balloons Over Bullets is promoting their Sunsplash event, where they're looking to break the Guinness Book of Records for the most water balloons that have been thrown and splashed on. And so just backstory on Balloons Over Bullets. It's a nonprofit organization that teaches kids to come together collectively and have fun, know each other before they get guns in their hands. Let's just talk about it. With the increase that we have had in the streets of Stockton of violence as of late, we have to do something to create a place for our children to gather and to come together. And so it's very important. So they'll be hosting Splash Fest. You can go to their Facebook or Instagram pages, and they'll have their flyer up as well. This will be at San Joaquin County Fairgrounds, Saturday, July 13th, 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. Please bring out the entire family. They'll have jumpers, they'll have food, they have entertainment and music, and the biggest balloon fight that you can find on this side of the Mississippi. So I would just wanted to give that shout out to the Church Lady community announcements. All right, so now back to you. You know, I was battling with a lot of things that were happening in my body, and one of the things that we know, especially with women, but also with Black women, is a lot that happens with their uterus, their ovaries, and their fertility, the cancer of the womb. And I don't know if you know any other holistic teachings. Do you follow anybody?
I do follow quite a few.
Okay.
You're talking about locally?
No,
just generally.
Just generally, historically.
Yeah, there's a few we call them biohackers that I follow.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So can you name some for some of our viewers or listeners?
Yeah, one person that I've always followed for a while is Ben Greenfield. He's a big one.
He's a big one. He's the one that made that wellness book, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he's come up with a couple of
books. Them.
Yeah. That's one. Drawing a blank on the other ones. That's the main one I follow.
So have you ever heard of Dr. Sebi?
No.
So Dr. Sebi was a profound teacher and doctor who taught Africana medicine, who taught how to heal pathogens of the blood, of the gut, and they stayed gone by understanding the regenerative properties of the body, what we put in the body, the environment that the body goes through. And he started with detoxifying the body from mucus and from carcinogens that were trapped inside of the body. and I want you to look him up.
Okay.
A lot of his
Yeah.
teachings, they actually assassinated him for his teachings. So a lot of my viewers, we follow Dr. Sebi's teachings. I also follow Dr. Afua's teachings about the frequencies of how to lay your hands on your womb, and also how to feed your womb, how to care for your womb. Because a lot of women, especially Black women, are affected in that way. When your clients seek you out, what is the best way for them to seek you out, and what elements would they have if they were seeking you out?
Yeah, so most of them just book with me direct. Either a lot of them have questions, of course, because it's something so different and unheard of. So a lot of them just will reach out by phone. But you can book online, just on my website.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so give you a website.
So it's www.valleyallergywellness.com.
I love it. And so, we were always interconnected by Mafay. That's your friend. And so, has Mafay used your services?
Yes, she has.
Interesting. Okay. So I gotta ask Mafay, like, how was it? And so, are you hooking us to the machine? What does that look like?
So the machine, you're just holding a bar that kind of grounds you to the machine, that connects you to the machine. And then I have a wand that I essentially, tap certain acupuncture points to direct that frequency.
Your meridian points. Yeah. And I teach that we teach tapping.
Yeah.
In meridian tapping for your meridian points when you're trying to lower your stress level or your emotional response. And those meridian points, if you can explain that, how are those interconnected in a way where we can find healing? Because this is Eastern medicine, and you're talking to Westerners.
So. Well, I'm not an expert, but the way I understand meridians is kind of like they're channels throughout your body, and these channels are connected to different organs and systems within our body. So that's the simple explanation of it.
And so are you tapping in that same way into those channels?
Yeah, we're introducing the frequency, and we're directing the frequency to 16 specific acupuncture points.
Interesting. Yeah. So can you name them? Can you show me on my body?
The two here, I believe are the kidney.
Oh yes, they're the kidney here.
We use spleen and small intestines points. I believe they're right here.
And you do a lot in the face, because we have a lot of those entry points too. This is kidney also. And then I know we have some in our foot as well.
Yes. So I use some in the foot, some in the face, and some in the feet as well.
Yeah. I was a weirdo kid growing up. We own a funeral home.
Okay.
And so my dad taught me a lot of those meridian points.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And then there are certain points that you embalm in as well. And so, of course, he taught me to craft from head to toe. But I was one of the little curious weirdo kids running around the funeral home. But I remember him telling me that if you took a look at the bottom of your feet would tell you every element that's going on in your body if you knew how to read the bottom of your feet. And a lot of times we don't pay attention to the bottom of our feet. We don't pay attention to our stool. Like our body gives us signals. What are some of the signals that you could tell our viewers or our listeners to look for if they need to come see you, girl?
Well, if you have seasonal allergies, if you have a food intolerance, if you have any digestive issues, hormonal issues, that's all something that BIE can help with. So BIE is essentially, you've got your body's like a computer. You've got your hardware, which is your skin, your bones, your organs, everything you can touch, see, and feel. And then you've got your body's software. That's essentially the invisible essence that operates your body.
I love how you breaking the body down like a computer. Because it is a computer.
It is like a computer. Yeah. Your nervous system is basically what controls your whole body.
Right.
So that's essentially what we're working with. We're working with your body's software. So, in the example of something like a peanut allergy, well, for some reason, that person's body is no longer recognizing recognizing peanuts. It's seeing it as harmful, right? So how do we communicate to the body that that peanut is not harmful to it?
Interesting.
You're
doing some Doctor Strange stuff here now. You know, when he got healed and he went to the guru. I don't know if you're into like Marvel. I'm like a big Marvel comic book. Yeah. So you got to go watch Doctor Strange now that I've brought it up.
I've seen it.
Okay,
yeah,
you've seen
I've seen it, yeah.
And so you remember the guy that got healed and he walked again? Okay, and he said, the guru, I forgot the name of the master teacher, but the grandmaster teacher taught the body not to see the body as unhealed. And that's what allowed the man to. So you're telling me we could tell our body not to recognize something?
Or to recognize something.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So we never have to expose you to the thing that you're allergic to. So if I had a client with a peanut allergy, I'm not going to give them peanuts, obviously, but I'll expose them to the frequency of peanut. Once the body recognizes peanut,
they're not going to attack it.
It's not going to have a reaction.
Listen, let me tell you something. Last summer, I gave Brother Amir a peanut butter jelly sandwich. Real peanut spread. The one that got the peanut oil at the top.
Yeah.
So I mixed it all in. It was old-fashioned peanut butter. You know, that was like our favorite pastime treat, you know, with a little bit of milk. Put that peanut butter spread on there. He said, Mama, I didn't like it. It tastes salty. He said it tastes spicy. Oh, so I should have known, like, with the whole allergy. And he took like maybe 2 little bites. I kid you not. Yeah. And all of a sudden, all I heard was, Mama, I can't see. And I was like, what you talking about?
This is scary.
Girl, I was scared. I'm going to follow that floor. I couldn't even call my mama or 911. I was so overwhelmed. His eyes had shut down. Oh, no. They turned into hives. They were red.
Oh my gosh.
Then I was scared, like all of this, you know, all of that's connected. So I was like, this is about to close up the way he reacted so fast. Yeah. And so when you have those allergies, I mean, he's to the point where he has to have an EpiPen.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is something revolutionary to me. This is crazy that we're just now hearing about this.
Yeah. And it's been around. The technology's been around for 20 years.
Wow.
So it was developed in Canada, so that's why it's not as popular here. Okay. I'm one of 16 practitioners in the United States.
Come on now with your self. Listen, you can get it right here in Stockton, California, right? Listen. Yeah. And you know, we like the allergy capital of like the world, it seems like. Yeah. I've noticed like the bees are not pollinating as much, but when the ecosystem is really ripped apart, I think with the whole climate change and everything, they were just saying how our babies are having asthma attacks more. You know, their inability to just break down the pollutants in the air. So more and more people are developing COPD, asthma, and a lot of allergies. Right. And you know, with my baby, he has eczema. It just breaks out into these patches. Yeah. And then I'm just like, I threw every type of peanut, anything out the house. That scared me so bad. Yeah. You know, thank God my mom, she kind of keeps it very calm in emergencies. I'm not really calm in emergencies, not when it comes to children. Yeah. Because you know, you're like,
that's your baby.
That's my baby. Of course. I was so scared.
Yeah. And eczema is another thing that we can work with too.
Really?
So usually with eczema, one thing that the body isn't recognizing, it's usually fats and oils and fatty acids.
Interesting.
So, you know, your skin cells are made of a lipid layer, fatty layer. So they need those oils and fats to create healthy skin cells.
Interesting.
So there's other things we look at too. We look at Malassezia globosa. It's a fungus that lives on everybody's skin. And what happens is that fungus creates a byproduct called oleic acid. So that all sits on the skin. So remember, it's related to stress. So whatever is happening at that time. Yeah. So whatever your body is viewing as the stressor, as the culprit of the source of your stress, it's going to tend to block. So then you're going to have these reactions in your skin.
Wow. So you out here just healing folks.
I'm trying.
Listen, so you know, dermatologists and people, they don't like you, huh?
Well, you know.
You checking their clients. And I think that's the type of healing we really need to pursue. It's not this, it's preventive healing.
Right. Yeah, it's more of a root cause solution, because if you go to the dermatologist for eczema, all they're going to give you is a cream.
Yeah.
And they're going to tell you, well, you have it for life.
Yes.
So it's not, again, and you can't be on those steroids and those creams for very long.
No, you cannot. And then when you're trying to get pregnant and all of that, throwing your hormones off and all of that, you can't use all of that.
Yeah.
It affects your baby. So those are the things, like, we need to really have these discussions, these conversations. I'm so happy you came on to the
Thank you for having me.
and just really sharing your story, sharing your story of triumph. I mean, being able to talk about your mom, you know, and like how she passed, and really still pursuing your gift, your healing gift, and your understanding. And you're such an intellect. I love that. I love a lady that just can just speak it off her mind, like, and this is what you. So,
thank you.
I think that's a gift that's kind of lost too. Be able to be poised and also just know your stuff.
It's not me. It's all God.
That's what
God gives me the ability. I don't have it. I don't have it. It's not me.
I love it. I love it. All gratefulness to our Creator, because He knows all things, and I am so grateful to have you. And so tell us where we can find you, because you didn't do that yet, and drop your Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, so I'm on March Lane, 2291 West March Lane in the Quail Lakes area. My website is www.valleyallergywellness.com. Instagram, valleyallergywellness.com.
For sure. As well. Yeah. So I'm going to bring Brother Amir down there. Now, do you take all insurances?
So I don't take insurance, but I do take HSA or FSA. That's like the health spending account or flexible spending accounts.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
And are your rates on there, or do we need to call?
The rates are on there.
Nice. And you know what you're getting when you're going on there.
Yes.
That's really dope. Yeah. So thank you so much, Deborah, for coming on.
Thank you.
This is the Pruned Tree. If you have, you know what? I forgot. Deborah, we got people for you. Come on, y'all. I want to see these people, Deborah. Come on. Who we got that's back here?
Hi, my name is Gloria DeMafio. About Deb. Deb is amazing. Deb is a true friend. She is a sister. She is a beautiful soul, both in and out. She is one of those people that really embodies what it means to be a Christian. You can tell that from the relationship she's in, from just how she cares for others. She always goes above and beyond for anyone in her life. And she doesn't do it to just put on a show. She does it because she genuinely cares. And having Deb in your life is a blessing. If you know Deb, you're truly blessed. Our kids have grown up together, and I've known Deb, I don't know if I mentioned this, for over 10 years at this point, and she's been my rock. She's been there for me through thick and thin, and she's just one of those people that you know you can always count on. She doesn't judge you. She's supportive. And watching Deb's journey in BIE has been remarkable, because I can tell how passionate she is about this, and that just brings me so much joy for her. As just with everything else she does, she has poured her heart into this, and she pours her heart into each client she meets with. I'm excited to see what the future has in stock for her, and yeah, I have nothing but great things to say about her. She's genuinely a great person, and yeah, I love her.
Ooh, I love that. That's your bestie.
That's my bestie.
Well, you know what? That's wonderful having a bestie like that. And she was like almost tearing up and stuff. I love it. You need that ultimate support.
Yeah.
I need to see this other video. I like this. I like how we have people and they support your crown, Queen. All right, who?
Hey guys, Patrick Max Athletic, and I'm here to give a shout out to Deborah. She's an amazing human being, and if you suffer from allergies, you definitely need to go see her for her service. I've been working with her for a couple months now, and it has been a couple months since I've had to take an allergy pill, and I'm the type of guy that would have to take an allergy pill every day for it to work, so it's definitely something I recommend to you if you have allergies. Also, Deborah's an awesome human being, so if you have allergies, you get to go get that straightened out and taken care of and hang out with a really awesome human being. Can't give her enough praise and shout outs. Deborah, you are an amazing human being, and I wish you all the success.
I love that, Deborah. Look at you, people singing your praises. I love that. And I like the fact that he said he didn't have to take an allergy pill.
Yeah.
You know, my girlfriend, I love her, and shout out to my girl Jamie. You know, after she had her baby, you know, it was a lot of things that we don't think have those different type of positive influences on like what we're putting in our body. And a lot of people don't know, like Claritin D, over the counter Claritin D, not over the counter, but the prescribed one, it has like some level of like meth, I guess, in the medicine. And so I'm like, we're putting all this caffeine, different things in our body that's lab tested or created, and we're not even knowing what we're putting in our body.
Right. And ultimately, it's not a solution, too. It's just mitigating your symptoms.
Wow.
It's not really addressing the root cause of those symptoms.
Come on. I'm all about addressing the root cause.
Yeah, right?
Yes, that's dope. And so, you know, I looked like a lot of them were health fanatics too. Do you have a lot of health fanatics that come in?
Not everyone. Some people are just driven just out of desperation too, just because they haven't gotten the results that they've wanted just from, you know, going to the doctor or taking these medications, and they're just kind of at their wit's end.
Wow. Yeah. And that's why you just need somebody like you that's going to tell the truth too. Because a lot of times you'll have healers in the community. They won't tell you the truth on how you can holistically treat yourself. That's amazing that you do that for your followers and for your clients, for your patients. That's dope. So do we have any more people that's back there? I love those videos. We have to do pre-recording videos all the time for people. You know, usually people jump on live and they'll engage in the conversation, but I really like that they did that. They took the time.
Yeah, that's very sweet.
So, shout out to Deborah's friends. So that brings us to our podcast. Join us every Wednesday at 7 p.m. I'm teaching you and I'm showing you dope individuals from our community that's healing, that's giving hope, that has the lived experiences and have really shown the growth of the person. I think it's inevitable when we talk about the prune tree, how we continue to grow and how we continue to link with other people and learn from other people. So until then, peace, love, and blessings. I'm Rubber Ray. Peace out.